You can hand this out if you want to.
Okay.
All right, we're going to start our meetings. Would you please rise? Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I used to like when we did that.
Chris, while you're setting up, we're
Yes.
going to get through the agenda here.
Yes, of course.
Eric, I'm going to have you on so you can, I know you have to get going. Yeah, sure.
There is.
Chrissy, what are you doing over there?
Yes, this, my seat's in front of that.
It doesn't have a power.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay, thanks. Really hooked me up here.
Well,
Gonna
the
sing
back of that
Stars
has to be
Spangled
turned
Banner.
on.
I'm gonna sing,
Oh, you got one.
well, let me just, I'll sing, I'll just start with Let's Go Knicks. Okay, get that out of the way. Nooches last night and be back there Saturday. Great crowd, a lot of fun. Greatest Knick game in history.
Boy, I'll say.
So I heard.
Yes, amazing, amazing. And that wraps it up, so thank you. So, I'm Eric Alexander. I am I'm in the Dutchess County Legislature representing this town, Amenia, and part of Pleasant Valley. We have a lot going on and a couple of things very relevant to my district. We are making some significant progress in addressing our EMS problem. The EMS problem being that it costs so much. And we really do have to address this because this is just going to get worse and worse and worse. So we have been working with the supervisors of the town of Northeast, Stanford, Amenia, and Washington, and our mayor. And we've been working with Empress, and we're getting pretty close to be able to announce a pilot program that we think will improve service and significantly reduce costs. It's a little premature. We need to sort of make any kind of announcement here. You'll be hearing more about this. We also have a new player by the name of Northwell, who now owns Sharon and Vassar and another hospital. They're going to be providing ambulance services between their hospitals, looking for additional use for their ambulances. So we're meeting with them that'll be the second meeting with them on, I believe, the 29th. So there's a lot going on, and I really think we're going to see some significant progress. The other thing that just happened this week, along with my colleague Anna Shaw, we created a new animal welfare committee. Because in Dutchess County, this is just not managed well at all. The SPCA got themselves out of the animal welfare business, out of the animal control business, and it's just a scattershot now. You know, if you see an animal that's being abused, you'll be calling one place and another. You'll call the SPCA, they say they don't do it. You call the sheriff, they may or may not get back to you. You call your animal control officer. We're very lucky to have Tony DeBonis, but in some towns, the animal control officer is shared by 4 or 5 towns, and they keep business hours. Not all bad things happen to animals during business hours. So it's a bit of a mess. There's not a dedicated shelter. If the sheriff is able to rescue an animal, he's got to make calls to find the place where there's space for it. So we are going to reorganize this, and I hope that this will happen pretty quickly. So I'll be able to report back on that. A couple of other things, and I don't know if I reported this here or not. The Environment Committee, we've passed I think we've passed a law. I guess it's a law now. It's called Skip the Stuff. It requires restaurants to ask if you want plastic forks and things, just as automatically, won't automatically go in the bag. We've created an AI committee, which is looking at how the county is using AI, and is also keeping an eye out for data centers. So we will be really looking for when these things might be coming to town here. There's one they're talking about in Fishkill. We'll make sure that we're aware of it. We can stay in front of it. Next month will be voted to serve as a trustee of Dutchess Community College. I bring a little experience to this. I just stepped down as the chair of the board of Emerson College, so it'll be my honor to serve Dutchess Community College, and I look forward to reporting progress there. I'm happy to answer any questions or talk more about the Knicks if anyone has anything that they want to know. And also, please, any ideas, thoughts, questions. One of the folks I'm talking with now is Todd Tancredi at the Office of the Aging. Not all of our towns, Amenia in particular, is not really leveraging all of their services. So I'd like to see if we can't make sure that everyone knows all the services that are available there. So I'd love to talk with you about some of that. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. Thanks for the update.
Yep.
Chris, are you ready?
As ever.
Okay.
Right. I'm probably not gonna need the mic. I'm gonna do that loud.
Chrissy, does he need the mic for recording purposes?
No, I think it'll be okay.
These
I'm
are,
okay.
I think
Okay,
okay.
yeah. I
These will
just-
do, no.
these, yeah, these are like powerful.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
they truly
sure,
are.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if I could situate myself so everybody can see the slideshow. If everybody doesn't mind, I guess I'll just sit down so you guys can see. Is everybody able to see it right now? Okay. Is that okay? Everybody can see it?
If you move over behind the table a little bit, you'll be better.
Well, do you need a spot to, like,
I'll just hop over and click it.
you're welcome to sit here and I'll sit over there. How's that?
Oh.
Because like, this is gonna be ridiculous,
Okay.
right?
I tried to make it as painless as possible.
I know, and I'm
I really did.
Even painless, even more so.
So much appreciated.
All right. My big head is not in the way.
I'm going to call you Joe for the next 20 minutes.
That's fair. You can call me whatever you want. All right, so appreciate everybody being here. There's so many people who I know and I've seen here, and really, this is the point of this project. For today, I'm starting to do a year, what we had accomplished in a year. The project officially started in July of last year. So it was going from July all the way through June. And in that, for those who haven't heard about all this already, the Funding Futures program is a pilot grant program that was supplied by Partners for Climate Action. Millbrook and the town were one of 6 communities in the entire Hudson Valley to be awarded, and the purpose of it was to lead a community-focused campaign where we would hear and get a consensus on the priorities that people had identified and to create a plan in which to make them possible. So that was sort of the assignment. Now, ahead of this, I was going to talk about my experience, my job, my family, my hobbies, but really it's not about me. It's about the community that has brought us here. And to me, I purchased my house. I'm a first-time homeowner. We purchased it in 2022. I have 2 beautiful children. And for us, we chose this area because of our library. And Genevieve Glasson and the pastor of Grace Church, Father Matt, had encouraged me to apply because of my experiences in grants administration and donations. So I had applied for Partners for Climate Action, but I would not be sitting here unless it was for almost half of you in this room. So I just want to share that about that journey. Human centricity. It's really important. I really want to speak about this because as much experience as I had with planning, it would not have been possible without everybody who you see on the screen, also people who you don't see on the screen. I actually knew nobody coming into this outside of maybe Kathy Shanks, but I trusted the committee that we had created to lead us along. At the height of it, we had 15 people on the committee, but I'm going to say that there was a core group of 8 who attended 80% or more of these meetings. It included people from the town, the library, the MPA, Innisfree, Grace Church, Kerry, the schools, the Millbrook Arts Group, Farmers Market, and of course, many of our neighbors. I wanted to share this slide because this was the first activity I had asked them. It was a prompt, and I asked them, send me a picture of what our community means to you. And these were the pictures that people had sent to me. And I felt it was sort of a way to kind of start this conversation about what we're hearing and why it's important. So, hopefully all of you have heard about this project. If you haven't, I'm sorry. So we were leading a year-long campaign and asking people what they cared about most about the future of Millbrook. I just want to articulate the founding statement. We are here to celebrate the people, the traditions, heritage that continue to influence all of us in staying in our homes and welcoming new neighbors into our community every day. We come together to think critically about what matters to our town and prioritize projects that will ensure the next generation inherits the same health and beauty we now enjoy. So, we focused a lot on branding. It was really important. Our graphic designer is here with us, and it was very important, and I knew early on how important it was to create a brand and work on a strategy in which that people would see it and know what we were about. So a lot of this he had created. We have flyers on the bottom here, variations of logos, the colors, the shirts we had on all of the events. And it was really important that we had created this, and I can't underestimate or understate how much that he had worked on this and how important it was to people seeing it and understanding what the project was about. So from September 2025, we made our debut at the Community Day event in Millbrook, and we collected ideas through January. And the point of it is, obviously, is for us to figure out what people's top 3 priorities were after we collected all those projects. At the heart of our community, as I had shared, and also as our fiscal sponsor of this project, the Millbrook Library was at the heart of everything we had done, including our outreach, the website, which had our survey, and also had a physical drop-off station. Through events, we had the Millbrook Community Day. We were at the farmers market. The Millbrook Library had a station, as I said. We had committee newsletters that people had shared about it. I was presenting at churches. We had newspaper coverage, local nonprofits. We were board presentations. We were out trick-or-treating on Halloween, my children and I. We had a leadership luncheon, which I'll speak about, one-on-one meetings, and of course, the Spirit of Millbrook event. So as I said, the Community Day event, we had a sign where people were able to post what projects that they cared about most. So we collected them. So we had about 80 people that had answered us that day. And that sort of set us off through the fall until the holiday. On November 22nd, 2025, we had a leadership luncheon where I had asked the committee to tell me who they felt was the most to know people in our community, trusting them, leaning into their knowledge of people who they felt needed to understand what this project was about. So we sent out 22 invitations, and 14 had come, and we talked about the goals, outcomes, and I think that really helped us in the coming months. Spirit of Millbrook Award. How many of you were in attendance at that event, may I ask? Okay, not bad. I told this to Courtney and a couple of others. If I achieved anything in this project, I felt it was honoring the people in the community, are what I'm calling unsung heroes, who were kicking and screaming into accepting these awards, but it turned out really amazing. Having the guest speakers introduce their neighbors, and we had awarded 5 people that day in faith and charity, business, entrepreneurship, service, public service. So what was our other ones? I forgot. What was it?
Can't remember.
I forgot enough, but anyway, those 5 main categories. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting it right now. And we also were able to show what the projects were that people had shared, so which I'm going to speak about in a minute. So from September to January, we got about 200 ideas and projects through our solicitation process, and after having a look at them, we were able to identify 79 specific ideas that people had said that fell into these 5 categories. So with the planning committee, we were able to create 3 screening criteria that brought our number into what people were able to choose and to elect in April of this past year, of this year. So we had 3 screening. 1, if the project needed private ownership, we did not include it. If the project was already happening or operating in some capacity in our community, we had to omit it. And any projects that were either unclear or could not be completed at the town level, we took those off as well. So we had to list 79 listed on the Millbrook Library's website, but out of that we were able to identify 10 ideas and 10 new groups, grassroots groups, which I'm going to speak about in a minute, that we had included on the ballot. And this is what it looked like. Hopefully most of you had gotten this. I'm going to talk about our outreach efforts in a moment. So the online voting opened on April 1st, 2026 and closed on May 17th, 2026 at midnight. We were collecting it through the Google Forms, which was sent as a link, not only on the mail out, but any outreach material that we sent, whether it be flyers, newspaper ads, all linking into the Millbrook Library's website. So we sent out 3,418 mail outs in the zip codes of the town, as you can see on the map, which included 5 postal routes and 2 post offices. Anything that was postmarked from May 17th on was included. In support of the paper payouts and mailouts, we had social media campaigns, quarter and half-size newspaper ads, flyers obviously with our partners, emails that were sent out, networks, public announcements that I made and others at the various community events that were happening during that month. Our data analysis team, which consisted of 2 volunteers and 1 objective who was outside the town limits, had a look. Each one of us had conducted a analysis of the raw data, verifying street addresses, and making sure that any duplications were taken off. From that, we had 425 individual submissions, with 16 that we identified as duplicate, which brought us to 409 people who had sent in a ballot entry. 314 were adults, 75 of them were Millbrook School District students. I will say that 29 of those students were outside of the town limits, but I did feel it was important that we counted them for the purpose of this project. 18 of them were outside of the town, and 2 of them were either unverified, so we could not verify an address, or they just wrote a Millbrook as their address. I think it's also important to note that 269 were sent online, with 140 that were sent in as a mail out or drop off at the Millbrook Library. So, the top 3 ideas everybody has been waiting for. The Sports Athletic Center got a total vote of 189. The Walking and Bike Trails Project got 175. And the Food Recovery Program got a total of 89. For those of you who did not do a vote, there was no order of priority. It was just your top 3 votes, and those are all counted toward each of those projects. So, I thought it was important to have a look at this in terms of the percentages, and I also felt it was important to mention that the 20 people who lived outside of the town also chose these top 3 as, you know, as their top 3, obviously. So this was the top 3. Having a look at it by the youth and adult ratings, you can see quite a discrepancy in what the priorities are for those under 18 years old and those over, which I thought was interesting. For the youth, our community newspaper is sadly at the bottom of our list, but it's very interesting that that was actually a top 3 for the adults. So it was very interesting. And obviously, I will post all of this, hopefully next month is my goal. Okay, so I do feel it's also important to understand what these numbers mean in terms of the history of what the town has accomplished and voter election passed. So in 2024, the general election for the 3 areas of Washington had a total at the highest for the county legislator election. There was 1,531. So our 389 who had been a part of this project, it's only 25%. In terms of the townwide survey that you conducted for your comprehensive plan, you had engaged 600. I'm sorry, I thought I had that on there. I think it was like 680, so which was a little bit more than half in terms of the engagement. So I do think it was important to talk about that. Now, this is the part, in my opinion, that as important as these projects are and the priorities are, I was most interested in this piece. So we had 10 volunteer groups that people were able to sign up for. Out of the people who had sent in a vote, we had 373 people who had signed up either a phone number or an email address, which is a 91% rate of those who are interested in staying connected and learning more. Of the total amount, 189 had signed up for at least one new group. Of those, 127 had signed up for 2 or less, which shows me that there's a higher chance that those people will show up and volunteer in the future because they're being intentional of what groups that they're signing up for instead of signing up for everything. So I do think that is important to say and state that. But it's very exciting. So next steps. So what everybody has right now is the community strength card, and we're trying to complete this. And what this is we're trying to find out who our neighbors are. And the point of it is that we are the sum of our experiences. We are our careers, we are our skills, we are our hobbies. So we're trying to understand who is in our community so we could inform what opportunities, how we could offer people and understand what skills are out there. So right now, we're trying to inventory everybody in the community and understand what their areas of interest are, their skills are, what careers they're a part of, what groups they're in, and trying to understand, and also understanding how connected they are, because there's a lot of new parents, a lot of new families, and also understanding how many hours that people can volunteer to inform us as a community who we have and how we can leverage them, help and see how they can help us. So this is our next steps. So the Partners for Climate Action is offering a phase 2 building capacity grant. And what I'm proposing, and I do want to share this, I don't have enough for everybody, but I have enough for you guys, is 2 applications. It's a $25,000 grant application. I'm gonna leave this here.
Sure.
You have a look at it.
That's fine. Thank you.
to apply. Oh, so this is actually the RFP, and this is the my proposal. I only have, so I got one more for you. There you are. You're very welcome. So what I'm proposing is we are able to apply for up to 2 applications for our community. Because of the amount of engagement we had in our community, we're able to apply for 2 applications. It's a first come, first serve grant that will close in August of this year. And what I'm proposing is 2 applications. One, to focus on progressing the feasibility study that was completed by the town of Washington in terms of the park, the town park, and helping to create a friends group who could support as a smaller nonprofit and helping get new grants and helping progress and understand if any of the projects and priorities that were identified in this project could live or be hosted at the town park. Application number 2 is creating a 2 to 3 member leadership cohort that would help these 10 future grassroots groups go through a year of emergence and formation and helping them create a mission and goal setting, organizational profiling, volunteer coordination, training, and hopefully a succession plan that will help them stand on their own. So these are the 10 groups that people were able to choose from. And I'm just going to say, even if we got a 10% rate of those who had signed up and come in, so we have in between 10 and 20 people who would be signing up and be forming those groups. So I think it's worth helping them get created and started. So my idea is this leadership cohort, which will be 2 or 3 people, which will each lead 3 of these groups as an interim CEO, and helping these groups get started and created, and helping them create a sustainable resource and strategic plan that will help them go into 27 and beyond. Each of them is going to have their own timeline of growth. Each is going to kind of form and grow in their own, in their own sort of timeline. But this, I feel, is going to really get the community engaged in helping those who are interested in any of these projects. So whether it be advocacy or nonprofits. During the course of my year in this planning process, the Partners for Climate Action, they gave us audience into all of these organizations. So all of these organizations are having a look at this community, and in my opinion, are going to offer us more grant money to any projects that we identify. They've been sort of leading. They were hosting sort of these online trainings, but also watching our progress as a community as we went along. So there's a lot of brain power here and a lot of assets that could enter into the community. In terms of next steps, these are a number of options. I could talk more in length about this, but each of these groups are going to have their own way of bringing in new money and new assets that would obviously benefit the town as a whole. Happy to talk more about each strategy here. But this is just kind of a list, not inclusive, but there's a lot more that we could talk about. But this is some areas where we could kind of grow and use these groups as a way to grow the town's assets in terms of outside foundations, support, and donations. I know it was a lot, sorry. But there was a lot that we had covered in a year. Is there any questions? Sure there's plenty. Or maybe not. Everybody's happy.
Maybe I'm the only one, but there are a couple of them that I don't understand exactly what they're intended to accomplish.
Oh, for the groups?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like the Main Street, that what it's
Yeah,
called?
yeah.
What's that one doing?
So these were all like, so again, these were ideas, everything here are ideas that people had shared
Right.
that we felt that, okay, these could be accomplished at a community level. I just wrote sort of a statement that was in the spirit of what whoever had submitted these projects and ideas. I just kind of wrote a statement. I don't know if this is going to be the statement that will continue on, but you got 40 to 60 people in the community who agreed to sign up for one of these groups. So I think it's going to be sort of up to that group. I don't know what it would accomplish. It could be a committee in support of the town. I think that each of these are going to sort of have their own timeline and pipeline into what they're going to like accomplish. But I'm seeing it as, I'm seeing it as that as these groups are being created, that they're going to be tracking their progress, and they're going to be creating like what type of outcomes and what type of milestones that they're going to be wanting to see or to accomplish every quarter, which would then be brought to you guys. So that's the idea. It's like creating a channel of communication and a bridge in which that you guys kind of understand, okay, like this group, it can help us here or there. But it's sort of unknown right now, I'll be honest with you.
And you went through the statistics, but do you think, what was it, 400 responses?
And 9. Oh, well, 409 unduplicated.
Do you think that's statistically representative?
Well, in terms of the entire community, it was 25%, but it was more than half of your usual engagement. So, I mean, it could be. What we see,
Maybe.
well, here's what I'm gonna say. There's 200 new volunteers who are interested in being more engaged. So that's what I'm seeing as the
Okay.
sort of the takeaway of this.
My question kind of is like Maxine's. Do you have any idea if people are from the village or they're come from the town? Do you have any, what the percentage of the vote were?
Off the top of my head, no, but I do think there was more in Millbrook.
In the village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just wondering, to what degree did you either collaborate with or take into consideration ongoing projects that are in the process? I'm thinking in terms of the Millbrook Community Partnership, Bennett Park, and the Thorne Center, which are in development. Was there any consideration given to other entities within the village and the town that are already doing some of these things or have plans to?
Before you answer that, and even jumping on things like if you look at invasive species task force, that would be something I would think you'd almost jointly do with Carrie
Yes.
and Duchess Land Conservancy.
Yes. So, I mean, some of these groups, I'm going to answer you. Some of these groups could be adopted. And that's something that I kind of outline about. Is it a new nonprofit? Is it being adopted? Is it a committee of the town? So each of these are going to sort of have their own end goal in which that they're going to be,
Chris,
as they
can I
stand
just
up.
comment? But it was taken into consideration when stuff came back of, this is already being done.
Right.
We did, I don't want to say kick out, that's not the right word,
So
but
we
it
were-
was,
so we did.
there was a
So
lot
we
of
admitted it.
information that came back, and we would sit there and say, well, that's already being done
Right.
at that level. It was very good that somebody said, we like that. It is already being done.
Right.
This was more new. Is that a fair?
Yes, it was. Yeah. So it was projects that were not already happening. I think it was. I mean, so we had a pretty nice group of people in terms of the committee. So we were having those conversations, but it was just sort of like until we knew what projects were being proposed, it was hard to really see how it overlapped until those last few months. And now so we're trying to understand, okay, so where does that overlap? actually occur.
The first grant, does anyone else have any questions before I jump in? On the first application, the feasibility study, do you need board approval to apply for that?
Well, yeah, so this is something, again, I'm proposing it. I'm not saying that it'd be anything that I would lead, but because of the projects were so heavily in outdoor recreation, it seems that I would have the town apply to progress whatever plans that you already have. So it doesn't have to be.
So, because the recommendation from the committee on the feasibility study, I'm sure you read it, was for us to go ahead and do an RFP for a consultant, an actual paid consultant.
Okay.
So I don't know how they would work together, or maybe you have an idea or a strategy on how it would work together. And if you do need board approval, in my opinion, that is more of like, we need to get back together and have a workshop as opposed to doing it tonight kind of thing.
Yeah.
So can you talk about what you would do to enhance or in lieu of a professional RFP?
Yeah, I mean, well, so let me just ask a question ahead of answering this one. Are you trying to get money for a consultant? Like, or do you have the money sort of in place?
So we got this RFP last month.
Okay.
And, we got the feasibility study last month. We actually haven't even talked about it as a board yet.
Sure.
So the answer is we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, to do an RFP for an engineering and a master plan is going to be very expensive.
Correct. Yeah, I think, I've been in my conversations with partners for climate action and these other foundations, I've been really, I've been telling them that there is this other project with the park that is happening at the same time as ours. And I knew early on, it was with the ideas that these were going to sort of intersect at this stage. So in terms of RFP, I think that you have, I think that there's got to be those next steps outlines of what type of outcomes that you guys want to see for the town, for the park itself, and understanding like, okay, like could this grant help supplement some of those costs? But again, it's only a year, so what type of committees would be created out of that? I will say the Friends of the Town Park was the highest one in terms of what people were interested in joining if it was created. So that could help you as well. I agree. I think having a workshop will go a long way.
Okay.
And kind of outlining all those next
Yeah,
steps.
I just think there's like a lot. If you read the feasibility study, I'm assuming that there's
Yeah.
a lot in there, and
Yeah.
there's some recommendations that again we haven't even discussed yet. But I don't feel comfortable in like, oh yeah, go ahead and apply for a grant without having a broader conversation.
Yeah, no, and I think that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping we could just get started
Got it.
soon.
Oh, never mind, go ahead.
Anybody else have anything?
Yeah.
Chris, thank you so much for your information, your presentation. I just had a question on the community roundtable. It has about, I think, 10 groups that might
Yes.
report to it. How do you envision that sort of being disseminated, all that information,
Yes.
different projects to the broader community? Is there going to be like a central website or?
Yes. So yeah, I wanted to. Well, what I could do is I could show you what I just handed the town here. So the idea of it, and I'm just like, this is sort of a long list, which I'm happy to share. But the idea of it is these 3 cohort of members out, including leading all these groups, is going to bring these groups, other local nonprofits, any of you who want to join. It's going to be a public. It's going to be completely open, in as sort of a one-stop shop, so people can update what's happening, how their progress is, what's going on. So what I'm imagining, and again, this is all, it's all sort of planning. But my idea is that whatever is talked about in that group will be brought to this level where they could. So it's just a way to channel other conversations outside of this structure. That's the idea, and then bringing it up and saying like, okay, like here, and then like and then somebody, me and other cohort members are going to say, here's the progress of all these groups. Here's how they're growing. Here's how they're not growing. And then you, as a governing group, are able to decide about, okay, how do we engage all these groups? What's the call to action there? And learning how to, how we could all sort of help each other is sort of the idea of it. I don't know if that answers your question completely, but it's to create, like as you said, it's almost like a workshop where this, like there's so many agenda items here, and this is more of just like a brainstorming group that would then hopefully come out with action outcomes and items that would then be presented at the town level. That's the idea of it, to sort of channel it. Is another way of engaging the community. And hopefully the other way is some minutes that would be, because the cohort would be here as well, they would bring it into that group. So it's supposed to act as a bridge. It's not, it's just sort of a bridge of information. So what's happening at the nonprofit level and these group levels, and what's happening at this level, and then trying to bridge it in terms of communication and channels.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Any
Sorry,
other
I took it a lot.
questions before we cut them loose?
I appreciate
Good presentation.
your
Thanks,
time,
Chris.
truly.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks
you,
for coming.
everybody. Thank you. Long slideshow. Sorry.
You can give me those codes.
Okay.
I'll pop them right in here.
Is your presentation and the data behind it, is that available on your website?
Yes, we will. I have to find a way, the best way to kind of share it. I'm doing a Zoom call with those organizations and the partners for climate action next week, and then I'm going to make sure I post it after
Okay,
that.
great.
The presentation get attached to the minutes?
Absolutely.
What's that?
Why isn't the presentation attached to the minutes? It's part of the board meeting.
I could also share, I mean, like, I could
Well, that's
send
the
an
presentation,
email.
not the data, but,
Oh,
yeah, I would think the presentation gets attached to the minutes.
Yeah.
however you guys want it. I could share it right now. It's not a problem.
That's-
Are you able to send me that in the
Okay, yeah. Like, has a PDF? Yes, yes, I can. Yes.
Right.
I think that's easiest in order to get it.
Oh, sure. Sure, absolutely. Yep, not a problem. Happy to share it. Yeah,
Chris,
really,
you're
for
all
you
set.
guys.
You're all set.
Thank you.
That would be great.
Okay, so
Do you need anything else?
I will enter,
The power strip is down below.
No, or my computer, actually.
Chris,
Thank you.
hey, Chris,
Yes.
do you need this power strip?
This
Oh,
actually
is that
precedes-
ours?
Chrissy's.
Yes,
That's
this is
yours.
yours, guys.
Very good, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a good
Thanks
evening.
again.
okay, Chris. Okay, I'd like to have a motion to open a public hearing on the proposed local law to amend the code relating to the collection of escrow fees for appeals to the zoning board of appeals.
So moved.
Second,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Any comments?
Maybe, I don't know, Ross, did you want to describe the law or something?
So basically what this does is, the main issue is, the prior code, there was really limited in terms of what some of the zoning board could solicit in terms of recovering its consultant fees. So I think it could argue, I think one could argue that it was not entitled to make that application under certain circumstances, although it wasn't somewhat ambiguous. Essentially, what this does is sort of clear that up. It clears up the language that we have regarding allowing both boards to solicit consultant fees for any applications or appeals that they receive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? If not, I have a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to adopt the local law.
I'll make that motion.
Second to that,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, Joe.
Okay. Last month, we discussed our policies and procedures as far as purchasing and public works. I had asked the board to consider, because this is the way we do business and the way we've always done business, to put clearly in our policies and procedures basically one sentence saying that we are allowed to use the state and/or county bids where applicable in our purchases and our public works projects. I'm not sure how you came about. Did you come about with any? Are you amenable to it? Is there?
Yeah.
I thought we
Thought
made.
we said yes.
We said yes, we made a motion.
Yeah, but,
Okay, well-
somebody was going to, if I'm remembering correctly, weren't we going to draft?
It's not in the but that's
In the-
not the
in the procurement.
But it's not, that's not the language in the procurement policy. I looked at it, yes.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Well, no, I'm sorry. It is under purchases.
So,
But
which,
it isn't, it was missed and not put in under public works.
okay, so what I missed then is the understanding that you want something that says you can use other,
Well, the state and county bids that are available to us that we use, it's where we get our best prices and are able to do most of our work.
I'm not understanding, which is why I'm asking the question.
Okay.
So is this, you're gonna piggyback on their bids, or are you using it to duplicate their bid?
The piggybacking process, yes, there are certain county bids that you can piggyback off of. The state bid is an already vetted bid throughout the state that you are able to use. It's already a bid. They give you all of the prices, okay? You can then,
Adopt it.
well, the idea would be to allow the town to adopt it to use, yes.
That's what I meant.
Yes. Yeah,
We're
correct.
all familiar with OGS, the Office of General Services, right,
Yeah.
from the state. Maxine, are you?
No, I'm a
Okay.
corporate lawyer, don't I?
I don't care.
No, I'm joking,
You know,
Joe.
So Office of General Services. So
Yes.
What it does, it allows municipalities or state or municipalities to, it's already, the bid process is already done.
Right.
So the cost of it, like say we needed a new pickup truck, we can go on the OGS and if it's on the bid, if it's on there, we can take it. We do not need to get three prices. We can just go
No.
right off of the OGS contract.
I think I get it. I think,
And so therefore, it's already allowed for state and municipalities. It's nice that we have this in our policy,
right.
and it will be nice to have it, but it's already offered. We can take that, we can use it, and we can go.
Okay.
And
The only reason I wanted it in writing in our policies and procedures is during the course of an audit, the first thing that's done is an auditor looks at the
Absolutely.
policies
The
and
auditor will,
procedures.
the auditor
No,
will
I get it, I get
also
it.
look at what we are allowed to take and we are allowed.
Correct.
So-
They will,
Correct.
and
Now, even
start,
though
stop.
it's approved and it's okay, all I'm asking is that it is.
We did vote on it.
We agree.
We agreed,
I-
and so it just has to be
Yes.
now added.
But I wanna make
So
sure-
the next
Right,
step
so
is
it's
to
just
adds
a
it.
sentence, some words.
Yeah, no, that's what I was just gonna say, thank you. Is I need to talk to you to understand exactly what
Okay.
we're putting in there as
All right.
opposed to
All
just
right,
making
fine.
up language.
Okay, we can do that, yeah.
Okay.
All right. The bids for Stamford Road are in. We received bid, the last one today. And received a very good bid, much less than the others. We're looking at it. It's a lot of money, obviously. It's a long road. It's over 2.5 miles. It needs a lot of work. It's not just, one coat of 1.5 inches or 1 inch of blacktop. So it's going to take 2.5 inches to level it out and do it. So I'll get back to you before I do it and let you know. We're pretty sure we're going to do it. We have the money. We got our CHIPS money this year. But I'm just need a couple more days to look at it. I just got one of the bids today, so.
So that would be paid for with CHIPS money?
Correct. That's all paid for with CHIPS money.
Joe, what did we
All of
do?
your blacktopping, by the way, for everyone's knowledge, you don't
Right.
tax for
Mhm.
blacktopping. It's all paid through CHIPS money.
How many miles of road do you redo each year, average?
Average I'm trying to think of how much I've done in 10 years, but I can't give you that answer, because what you do is you blacktop it, and then over the course of a couple more years, you have to seal it. So you oil and stone it and so on. But this will be, in 10 years, this will be 22 different applications we've done in 10 years. That's a lot.
Mhm.
It's a couple of years,
And that does not include the dirt roads?
no comment.
Joe, what did we
Dirt roads
just,
are done all year.
Right, but you can't use CHIPS money for those.
You can use the CHIPS money for drainage. You can use the CHIPS money to buy machinery that is used, you know, in the course of your work on that road. But no, you can't use it for, and you can't buy gravel with it.
Right.
Yeah, or any thing that's for that surface. And you'd be foolish to use the drainage money on that road, because you need it on the others. We redo drainage before we go on a road. We'll dig up the old pipes first before we blacktop.
sure. Okay. Joe, what did we decide on here at this parking lot? We were gonna wait till the end,
Yeah,
later in the
so
year?
Well, it wasn't budgeted for, so we were gonna wait towards the end, see if you probably have some fund balance, and then go out to bid.
Yep.
What I'd like to do is, once we get this thing all straightened out, is try to figure out if there are some bids out there for municipal buildings and properties that can be used I told you, I just got a quick quote, which was $75,000 to do just this parking lot.
And what about the town park? Can that be fit into any of this?
Well, like I said, if I can find any bids that are, you know, used in that manner, most of the bids that I use are, you know, highways, and purchasing large equipment.
Yeah.
Or even smaller equipment, but still. So I'll look into it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure, the one guy that we got a price from here was not familiar that he had any association with any New York State bids or any county bids.
The town park really needs it desperately up
Yeah.
there.
So
Okay.
And
so does the
Oak
highway
Summit.
garage.
What?
Oak Summit, I think you repaired it last year, maybe? Oak Summit Road?
No, we just did a.
Because it's ready, 1 year it was repaired, and now
Yeah,
it's.
no, that was
needs-
just a quick shim so we could plow it this year. Oak Summit Road will be done after the bridge is done.
Oh,
That is one of our targets. We're not gonna do it before the bridge. There's gonna be big equipment going on it. There's gonna be a lot of traffic on it. That will be done after.
Good.
Grader bid, there's a grader, we need a grader. I've got 3 bids. Caterpillar was the lowest. I don't know how I'm gonna pay for it. I'll get back to you.
Is it still 300,000?
It's always nice to know.
Is it still 300,000?
You know, it's funny, because it went from 330 down to 270 was our last bid.
Oh,
And it was a local bid.
oh, keep going.
Cat. Yeah, you know, I've bid all 3 manufacturers, so I think that's about as good as we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Also, I asked Kyle to look at a county IMA, which is an intermunicipal agreement for me for shared services. They send it out every few years. It's usually entirely in their favor. What it does is, and I'd like to, we don't have one with the village anymore. We need one. On that note, I'll try to put something together, but what the agreement is that we could share services. If they needed a hand with something, and if we could jump in, we would say, yes, we can, and we would. There's insurance issues, not necessarily do we have them, but specifically other towns may.
What kind of,
I'm gonna read it a little further, and see, because I'm not sure it's for us. That's all.
I would think most of them have some sort of municipal insurance. You should be able to be.
Well, it's
piggyback
our
on each.
insurance, our insurance is what, we're not all jumping in and throwing into a pile. It's, our insurance is what would be used.
Yeah.
We have to have a certain amount, obviously,
Right.
for any engagement in this, which we do, by the way. Which we do, but
Good.
I'll get back to you with
Good,
it. Thanks.
good. Thanks,
Any
Joe.
questions?
No? Thank you.
Yep.
Chrissy, you want to give us your report?
Sure, okay, so for the month of May, the town clerk's office brought in $13,237. It's a busy time of year because we're giving out the new transfer station permits along with fishing licenses. The May audit was submitted to the supervisor. We had Legal Shred came to the town hall today. We got rid of a significant amount of record retention. Also, Adam Brandow, he donated a flag to the town for America's 250th, and it's the original Town of Washington flag recreated in 1992.
Yeah, looks
And
good too out there.
Matt, yeah,
Okay.
Matt Purcell was kind enough to hang it for us. It looks
Yeah.
great, so thank you to Adam and Matt for doing that. What else? We're finishing up tax collection. Hopefully that'll be done at the end of June. And we're just working, the town hall needs some new landscaping out front to the left, so we're working on some estimates for that. It can get very expensive, so we have to kind of go back to the starting spot that we
All
started
right.
from. And hopefully we can get something up there. And would Greg be able to plan for us?
Let's talk to Megan about that.
Okay.
Sometimes when it's drier, that would be a good time for it, because they have to mow as much.
Right.
So we might have more time.
We were even thinking about like seeding more grass, so it wouldn't,
Oh.
we wouldn't need that many plants and shrubs and whatnot.
So what kind of like shrubbery are you
Well, we
planted
were looking at
in?
boxwoods, and that was very expensive.
Yeah.
So then we were looking at the,
Maybe ornamental grasses or
Ornamental
something.
grasses.
Okay.
The only problem with stuff like that is, your cleanup,
Yeah.
you cut down, any perennial.
Yeah,
things up there.
the grasses are nice
Expensive.
because,
They fill out.
the deer don't eat it.
No.
It's
Yeah.
less maintenance while they're there, but it's high maintenance to clean it
to
up.
clean up. So if you have any suggestions in your
But I was gonna
professional
ask,
opinion, we would
like,
love to hear it.
there's other things like hydrangeas and
Yeah.
things like that spread and look nice.
Okay.
But
And it's very.
now is a
shady there.
difficult time to plant things,
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
in the middle of summer.
Yeah, and I don't have a green thumb, so.
Right.
Hydrangeas and
Is there going to be a
hostas.
cover
Yeah.
over what's
No
exposed?
hosta.
Yeah, so we were looking at.
I don't need my hostas.
Lattice.
Lattice.
Lattice, yeah,
Ever.
Yeah.
okay.
No, outside the fence.
So even if we just did the lattice first,
It's the
to
ones
make
that
it look
grow
a little bit
everywhere.
better,
Mhm.
but
Yep,
I'll see.
Matt wanted to do a custom.
I figured, okay, so I can talk to Matt about that.
Can it be black?
Yes.
Yes,
We're
we
gonna
were
talk.
looking at black.
We were looking at black.
And I think that's pretty much all I have.
yeah, okay, good, thank you. Okay, Lois, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Where do we stand with the building for the landfill guys out there?
They have ordered the shed.
We did order.
Partial payment on it.
Okay,
We had to. And then when it's delivered, we'll pay the balance.
okay. I
It's
just
been
wanted to
ordered.
make sure it was ordered.
Yep, it's been
Okay.
ordered.
Was there a time
for-
frame on it or anything?
I'm not sure. When I see Jim next, I can ask him. But it's been ordered. That was probably a month ago.
Yeah,
I was gonna say 6
Yeah.
weeks ago, I think
Yeah.
that's when I went to, he's like, good news, we got the new shed coming, so
Yeah.
it's been
Yeah,
a while.
Hopefully it'll
Yeah.
get here while the weather's still good.
And while the roof's still on it.
Yeah, right, exactly, right. Okay, sorry, Lois, go
No,
ahead.
that's all right. I started the bank recs for May, a couple left to do. Of course, I provided you with your bank balances and the New York class balances. Transfer station invoicing and receipts are posted. The monthly revenue from the Justice Court has been received for May, alongside with the building departments and the town clerks. My big thing this month was demoing software, accounting software. Both financial systems offer a great advancement in what I'm using right now. Highlights are, I think I put this on my report last month, especially in one of them, board members could be assigned a password. You can look at reports if you want. You can, there's an app you'll be able to use with one of them, Edmunds, that you can authorize or sign the vouchers. You would just be able to log in and see what's there to sign. You can set it for 3 signatures needed before it could be processed. I could, and both offer that ability to authorize the vouchers during the course of the month. That would alleviate having to sign them here. The employees, both systems would be able to access their own reports, W-2s. Edmunds, I know, I can do ACH payments. So it's just, it's huge. It's the problem is that it's a lot of money. The setup fee for one of them, I sent you the 2 proposals, was significantly higher. And I think.
But Edmunds was significantly less.
Yes, and would offer a great advancement of what, Chrissy can vouch for me. I'm in my room cussing all day long. Yeah.
So
We're ready.
So you gave us this price, right, for Edmunds.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a annual maintenance fee that
Yes.
may need to be?
It is a pretty big number. It's $27,000 a year.
A year?
A year.
Not just the first year.
Not just the first year.
Oh.
Yes.
And I'm sure it never goes down. Just keep in mind, it's going to every year, it's going to go up.
Edmunds at least guaranteed it for 3 years.
And are these the only 2 options? There's not like QuickBooks for municipalities?
No, QuickBooks does not offer it. I can check a couple other, there's a couple other accounting systems. I can check on this.
Is there any on the OGS?
I do not know if they do that.
Okay.
I can check. I didn't really think about that.
Okay.
But these are the top
Yeah.
reputable 2 software solutions. It's up to you, if you want to decide tonight, if you need more time, if you need me to check out a couple other solutions, but
Just by way of comparison, how much time do you think it would save you? You alone?
I can't even, I don't even.
Take a guess.
Having to hire an assistant
Would say, yeah.
would say.
Well, that sounds like $27,000 a year, doesn't it?
Yes.
Or
Plus
10.
interest that
I
you,
am doing so many manual spreadsheets, including the PTO time the employees have. I
Yeah.
can't even get the right answer.
but also the interest generated thanks to you, where we are placing our money would more than cover this.
See, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, well.
I do have a little
very
breakdown
true.
of where I think I can find it this
Yeah.
year. We do have monies in donations and data processing
Mhm.
accounts that have been sitting there.
Mhm.
But if you will look at it, but just,
The setups are always expensive. It's the annual maintenance you
yes,
want
and
to
the
try.
one company is just, as much as I enjoyed our conversations, you know, they're good people on both sides, but it's a
Have-
huge difference.
Do you know of anybody else who uses what you're recommending?
I don't know specifically. I asked Edmunds how many municipalities in New York State use it, and he said about 452 municipalities. So maybe with Chrissy's help, she knows, you know, she has connections with her town clerk, so
Mhm.
we can see. We don't have to decide tonight, but.
When would you want to start this, like budget year, January 1?
Well, the problem is, it takes a while for both companies to set it up. I don't know why it takes that much time, but
What is
it might
this?
take a year.
To set up?
A
Yes.
year?
Yes.
They do the account, and they also interact with the state chart of account system.
Yes, yes.
And so you wouldn't have to manually upload or the reports that you do to the state control?
Yep, right, no, I would say, here you go. It takes me 3 days to do the W-2s to the Social Security Administration.
Did they say it was,
90, I have to type in 90
That's insane.
W-2s.
did they say it takes a year to set up?
Yeah, yeah.
And that includes the training?
Yeah,
And do they continue to provide
yes, that's
support
part of their,
services?
that's
Yes.
part of their.
I assumed,
every
but I
year.
could.
Yeah. And both have been very responsive to any of my questions. I don't doubt that, but the one is just, it's way too much money. So, just, we don't have to decide tonight, even though I told them I would tell them. Well, you don't have to, I can say you didn't decide. That takes a message.
Is there more that we need to
Sorry.
make a decision?
I think that maybe just find out, like, talk to somebody who's actually using Edmunds.
Mhm.
You know, like,
I could find out,
I
I'm
think
sure.
that just to
that they
find
will
out-
let me
Oh, you
know.
haven't done that?
No.
Oh.
no.
So,
I'm
and I think
sure.
that maybe somebody at the county finance, do you think they might know who's using what?
I don't know if they would.
Right, okay.
sent
The
out a-
state might
Right.
know.
The
The
state, right.
Association of Towns might know.
Oh, the Association of
You
Towns.
can just
sent
call
out
like
to local-
Pleasant Valley and Union, like call a couple towns.
Call a couple times.
Yeah, I sent out an
Pleasant
email
Valley's
to-
using an older system still, unless they upgrade it.
They might upgrade it to new town
Nobody
hall.
answered you yet?
Nobody answered me, I was hoping.
So,
to
so,
answer.
They
go
were
ahead,
using
repeat it, because they
KPS.
didn't hear you. I heard you.
I sent an email out to local municipalities asking what
Okay.
systems the
Great.
bookkeeper
Yeah,
uses,
if
and
she could.
I haven't heard back from anybody. I was hoping to hear before the meeting.
They're all on vacation.
But at this point, anything.
As soon as I get the information, I'll definitely give it to Lois.
And I would
Put it
just say
on
that
for
and just
next
check
month.
OGS just in case,
Yeah,
maybe they're
I
on there.
didn't really even think that,
Um,
I don't know, I
Because
could,
isn't that kind of an OGS thing?
I could look, I could even.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I was just going to say, you said the company was able to tell you approximately how many other municipalities in the
Yes.
state
Yes.
were using it?
Mhm.
Can you ask them to tell you, to give you several that are approximately our size?
Yes,
So that you could
Right.
actually talk to somebody
Right.
who's using it?
yeah, not, absolutely. But both demos were great. They were, you know, and it does include payroll. Edmunds, I did add in, I think it's $850 a year, the accounts receivable portion, so we wouldn't be using QuickBooks. We would use their billing, and the residents can pay online. They can pay online into Edmunds.
Can you also link it to
Which
the,
people have asked, residents have asked, can I just?
because our court fees right now cannot be paid online, right? Our court fees have to be paid in person?
They can be paid online.
They can currently.
They can currently.
Okay.
We would just have to do some research and figure out how to set that up. I know we tried to do it years ago, and it was a no-go, but
Well, can Edmunds do that?
I don't know, because we are using their tax, and their dog licensing, I think, or all.
yeah,
all in
we
Edmunds.
use their town clerk system,
Yeah.
so I can find out if they have a court system as well.
Uh-huh. Obviously, employees would go to direct deposit. I wouldn't even fathom trying to do it.
We're so old school.
Danielle's like, okay, I approve. It's a world of difference. It's a whole nother world. And it is a lot of money, but
All right,
for
well,
you to decide. And then my last thing is, one of the budget amendments, last month, I needed to correct, in the first budget amendment, this third and fourth line items.
yep,
I changed, on the third item up, the corrected one is the change.
yep.
So instead of deducting from building improvements in the A fund, taking all of the 10,000 needed out of the fund balance. So that was my mistake. But
Good. Thank you, Lois.
Thank you.
I know you said you,
And then also, I don't know if, maybe I'll email you, like I kind of keep track of the fund balance, our fund balance,
Mhm.
and like projected projects that we could
Yeah,
do with
you
fund
gave
balance.
us that once.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will, you want me to put it in your mailboxes or email it to you?
Email is great.
Email.
Email's
Okay,
fine,
okay.
Lois.
And is it a fund balance report?
It's not really a report,
But it's,
it's showing
it's
like what
ideas of
expense-
where we,
Right, we
Yeah.
would, I don't know what you mean by a fund balance report.
Well, because I know fund balance is a moving target, right? There's only one day of the year that you can actually calculate fund balance as opposed to,
Not really, because you can do it periodically. I mean, at the end of the year, your fund balance is your fund balance.
Right.
And that gets reported to the state. So I continue every month to start with that fund balance from the New York State report and make sure that, you know, our revenues are coming in correctly, our expenses are all on target. The only thing is the building here is gonna be a little off. Because of the air conditioning, you know, the things that we had to fix. But then I also take our fund balance and say, well, we could do these things with the extra fund balance because we do have extra fund balance. And I've earmarked projects.
so this that you're gonna give us, is it only showing the extra fund balance or is it showing the full fund balance?
It's showing the full fund
Perfect.
balance, like the beginning.
Yep,
What
perfect.
we've taken in, what we spent, what we have yet to take in, projecting.
Yep.
You know, to take in and then our expenditures. And then how we might be able to use it, because we do have, there were projects like last year with over at the highway, the one tank wasn't put in. So I'm
Yeah.
keeping track of that. So that'll be on here. I'll email it to you.
Perfect.
thanks, Lois.
That's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
I know you gotta get going, so,
Yeah, family in town.
yeah.
I have circles in my eyes, real sleep. I'm sore from picking up grandkids.
Have fun. Thanks,
So
Lois.
fun, though.
You went preschool.
What's that?
Okay, so you had a chance to see Jonathan's report.
Yep.
Everybody,
Nice
hopefully.
meeting you.
Yep.
Okay. Danielle?
Okay, so my Recreation Commission meeting was last night. We had 4 of the commissioners in attendance. After giving them my full report, the commissioners would like to recommend naming the small pavilion the M. Murphy Pavilion in honor for his many hours of dedication to the town of Washington recreation. So that would be your decision to make, to name that.
I think
and
it-
what is it? What-
So we have 2 pavilions right now.
Yes.
The one is the Fred Carnes, and then the small pavilion that just got renovated.
Yes.
They thought it would be nice to name that pavilion. Instead of
Yeah.
calling it the small pavilion, they could call it the Murphy Pavilion.
And the committee
The Recreation Committee
asked, okay. It's just, I know that Mike has done a lot, you know, like Steve Toledo's spent years as being the liaison, and Mike spent, what was it, the last 2 years. I think of other people, like Betty Gurdon. I don't even, like.
Which the gym is named after.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, but it, you know, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, that's all they wanted to recommend.
That's a little bit of a reservation there for me.
Let's
Just a little-
put it on the agenda for next
Yeah.
month to have a discussion about it.
Yeah.
I'm not prepared to make a decision tonight. I don't know if anybody
it's a
is.
little-
Great.
Okay.
Okay, the pool opened on Memorial Day, and it opened from 12 to 6. The pool will be open on weekends from 11 to 7. Juneteenth, for the first time, will be open. There's a lot of kids that are off from school that day, lots of families, so I thought it would be good to have the pool open. That is on a Friday, that will be from 12 to 6. And starting June 29th, it will be open 7 days a week. Weekdays 12 to 6, weekends 11 to 7. There are still pavilion rentals open for people to rent. A certificate of insurance are required for that, and an account with the Town of Washington Recreation. Camp registration, session 1, 2, and 3. Session 1 is at 66, session 2 is at 79, and session 3 is at 91. The toddler program had their art show on June 5th at 6 p.m. It was a huge success with over 50 people in attendance. And the last day of school is tomorrow. The adult program, the spring luncheon was Wednesday, May 27th. We had the luncheon, there was food for Madison's, and 40 people attended. There's going to be a summer luncheon on Wednesday, June 24th. That will be at noon, and there will be bingo afterwards, but there will be no money exchanged. Call to reserve. We have a trip coming up on July 14th. Residents are $10, non-residents are $60, and that will be to AquaTurf in Connecticut. There will be country music and line dancing and some food, lunch served. We have for the first time this year that the town of Washington is having its summer poolside concert series. That is every Sunday from 1 to 3, and we have a flyer that's out that shows all the different bands. It's the Johnny Walkers, the Long Steel Rail, Big Ange, and they all take turns doing different days for the whole summer. Pool passes for 2026, we have 1 adult pool pass, 8 senior pool passes, and 36 family pool passes. Resident Michael Schultz would like to donate a pool pass to the Millbrook Library. This would allow families to take the pool pass out for 2 days, maximum, before returning it back to the library. He would like to dedicate it to Norm Cardinal, for all the children that he's helped coach and swim over the years.
Nice.
Are you guys okay with him doing that with the library?
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
Courtney. Okay.
Will we be able to know how much that is used? You know, is there a tracking on that? Well,
Yeah, we're gonna have it so people can check it out with their library card, like our regular
Mhm.
visitor passes. So we'll have like circulation data for that, so you can see how often it's used.
that'd be great. That'd be nice to see how much, you know,
Well,
what's
that's
in
fun.
need.
Well, that, as people check it out and use it over the summer, if you want when the pool closes, I can give you a report on how many people
Okay.
have checked it out.
That'd be great.
So I'll drop it by the library tomorrow?
Perfect.
Great, okay, thank you. Millbrook Marathon has given us a donation check. We received it yesterday, and it is for $2,319.13. And right now, they're dividing their money from the event between us and the school district. And he said next year, he wants to donate it all to us.
I was just gonna ask you, where's the division there between us and the school?
He started doing it for the school districts for a long time. He's kind of frustrated, I guess, because he didn't know where the money was coming from or what was done with it. And the whole thing is done on our property, so
Exactly.
now.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'd like to find a few things that uses that money and maybe put donation plaques on it.
Yep.
Like some picnic tables or something that, so people can read that it
Of
was
course,
donated from.
sure.
Don't we need a resolution accepting a donation?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Done
Right.
it before?
I don't, don't you have to publicly accept a donation by resolution?
But if you want
Mm.
to.
Sorry, I was looking at an email. What's that? Yes.
You can't, I was gonna say, you can't just accept a donation, it has to be by resolution.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, easy enough to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I move.
Yeah.
Second to that?
I second it.
It's all in favor?
Aye.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
There you go.
Okay, so.
Is that, can I just add, like, is there a minimum on that, like, or, like some,
It's a
do you know
good
what I mean?
question.
Like,
So any?
that seems
donation.
ridiculous.
Well,
No,
I mean.
even if it's furniture.
You can sort of, you can pass a resolution that, you know, or you can pass a policy that says that, you know, certain donations under X number of dollars, but typically no, most boards wanna, tell you why.
It's
Even if it's $20.
Yeah. It's transparent. We announce it. We thank the people that give it to us.
Yeah.
What's
Where's the problem?
But what's the problem with the resolution? It
The
took 2
problem
seconds.
is, I'll tell you what.
It
I'll tell you
took
what the
2
problem-
seconds,
I'll
but
tell you-
it's-
I'll tell you what the problem with not doing it by resolution.
Yeah.
Some people might not, on the board, may not want certain people accepting donations from certain people.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for bringing that up because it's good to know.
Yeah.
There's a New York Plays grant. We've worked with a company to give us some prices for a playground located at the soccer field. I have a couple of pictures of, if you.
Can I ask you a question about this? How does this fit into that whole big proposal you gave us last month?
This has nothing to do with it.
So you
This is
would
beyond.
spend, what, $300,000 to do this and then redo it again?
No, we wouldn't touch this. So while, you know, if the feasibility plan goes through and we're, in the feasibility plan, you're stating that we want a new playground somewhere on that side, the pool side. So then, while that's getting deconstructed and we find something that would be an additional playground that we would have while that was happening. Also, soccer happens there and a lot of people use that track and people ride their bikes and there's no place for kids to play. We do have an adult workout spot, but kids are playing on that and it's not really appropriate for kids. But before we get into all that, so this is the grant that we would want. You have the resolution for that. So this playground is $300,000 and we would only have to pay 20% of that, which is $59,600.
Notice of silence?
He's reading, so that's why he's quiet.
I'm only kidding.
This was, you had more than one person or organization figured, give you a bid for this, I assume?
Well, he gave us one that was much larger that Deirdre and I saw, and then he went down, he's on the OGS site, or the Sourcewell site. So we went with that because then we don't.
And we asked him to scale it back. That's what he
Okay.
came with originally, was something that we didn't think this town or taxpayers would appreciate for a playground.
And do we have any money set aside for something like this, or any money that's available for it? Does anybody know?
That would go from the regular general fund. So they tell us if we get it by August, and then we can plan for it for next year.
If we get
So
the
usually
grant
grants are
by
like-
August,
right.
yeah.
Usually grants are for maybe 2 years that they give you to do it.
Right, we would, when we came to budget time, we would have to allocate dollars towards it in the
Got
budget.
it.
Yeah.
Have you, I'm not trying to sound snarky at all, I'm just actually curious. Have you been up to the soccer fields?
Yes,
The,
I got a tour.
Oh, good. Because it's at, where Danielle's looking at and what the gentleman, Brandon recommended was at the end of the soccer fields.
Yeah.
On the other side of the track.
Right.
Right,
sure
That was
wasn't-
the original for the 888,000. This would be to cover where the adult.
Right. So that was originally where we looked at, and then with the adult playground was going to be taken out, we had talked about prior to the,
And that's part of this?
this part,
Including that?
removing that adult play area, not play, adult athletic area would be removed. Which I think is a larger discussion we have to have, because it was a grant that was given by community members to install that equipment.
Ooh.
Is that true? And it was a donation? And it's named after a community member who's passed
We want to
away.
call the family and ask if we can rededicate the new playground to them.
Well,
So we have to, it's a bigger discussion on removing that.
And if you couldn't remove that, where would you put this? If you had to leave the adult?
We could still put it in the back.
so the 298,000, what does that include?
That playground right there in that picture.
Not the removal?
Well, I'm saying,
And like the base.
And the poured rubber.
The rubber,
The poured
everything
rubber is
that-
the expense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have to have the poured rubber? Can we use like another substance, like
How about concrete?
like chips or something?
Well, chips you keep replacing, and people
Like
in
they-
wheelchairs and walkers cannot use that. So if somebody wants to bring their grandchildren there, they might have a hard time walking on it.
what,
Okay.
This is the breakdown if
I
you want
would,
to look
I
at
would
it.
think that using poured rubber, it's whatever playground these days.
I was gonna
is
say, it's what
using.
everyone's doing.
You don't want
That's
that.
what- okay.
Yeah. But if we don't
Here's the
do the
breakdown
removal
of
of the
the
adult, just let's, for argument's sake, the family doesn't want to do it, so does that reduce this price?
I think so, I would think so, because it's part of the pricing that they're removing it.
However, if we're gonna keep it, we have to put some dollars towards it to either fence it in or figure out what
The
to do.
playground or the adult?
The adult area. If we're keeping it, we have to have a bigger discussion.
Yeah,
It's gonna
there-
take some dollars to make it
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I just, you know.
So the savings may be negated.
So, I'm sorry, the resolution that you sent to us last night, it's not in the packet, so that we have here,
Yeah, it's
the
here.
hard copy?
Okay.
Or maybe
It is here.
just mine.
You don't have it?
Do you mind if we see it?
I don't have one. I don't
No,
have
I
it.
don't
Okay.
have one either.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Sorry about that.
There's another
Do you
copy.
have one?
No, this is the Stamford Road.
Oh, wait, you have one, right, there it is.
There it is. See, I knew I
Sorry, Freddie.
saw
So-
it. It's at the back of the pack.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, not mine.
The New York
But,
Plays authorizing resolution.
So, it says one of the conditions, it says here that the town hereby authorizes and appropriates a minimum 20% of the project cost as a local match and commits to providing the necessary funding to fully complete the project. So that 59,600, that's a minimum. right?
That's correct, yes, that's the breakdown on that invoice in front of you.
Right.
So that shows, correct.
And we just had this feasibility study that came down last month.
Mhm.
And so that's a re-envisioning of the park.
That's correct.
So,
So right now, we don't have that plan in place. We can't do anything to that space.
what space?
Really with a new playground, the pool area,
Right.
the town park pool, not the Warren McMillan Park, but the town park pool. So this grant came up, it's a great opportunity for us to use this money to put a playground in place for only 20% of the money that it's valued.
So, but I guess my question is, and I said the same thing when we talked about windows, which is the piecemeal approach versus a comprehensive approach. And it would seem to me, I mean, the board is going to obviously have to consider that other proposal that you submitted last month? And wouldn't it make more sense to do one big comprehensive approach to this and get it done, whatever it is, you know, all together? And maybe it becomes even cheaper, because if somebody's in there already doing construction, then maybe it won't be 300, maybe it'll be 250 or whatever, when you're doing a whole big project as opposed to pieces.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
But this grant opportunity it's timely right now.
It's today, but
Right.
won't there be another grant opportunity next year?
But there may or may not be, but are we gonna commit, then we have to do 2 playgrounds? Now we're talking $700,000 in playgrounds.
Why, I'm sorry, why?
It's because I think in the comprehensive plan for the park, you're gonna see that there's probably gonna be 2 playgrounds.
Where's the feasibility of the plan? It
Yes,
says comprehensive
no,
plan.
I'm saying when we go to a comprehensive plan, because there's 2 distinct areas at the park.
Right,
There's the soccer
exactly.
and the track,
Yeah,
and then there's the,
exactly.
Right.
so there's 2 distinct areas there.
So we would be doing that, either we're doing it then, or we're doing one now and one then.
So, and I think that's the operative term, is comprehensive. So why would we do something in little pieces? I understand the grant part of it, but when we don't have a comprehensive plan for all of the park. So if these things would work together, and they would be designed, they would probably have a similar look. They would also have a function that would be similar, because you wouldn't want to duplicate things. And here, just because we might have a chance of getting this money, we're committing the town to this action and I haven't seen any plans or anything. I haven't seen anything. I've seen a picture right now, and I got a resolution last night. And it just doesn't seem like good planning.
So my liaison has seen all of this, and that's who I'm
Okay.
supposed to send stuff to. So
I
have
just,
sent it.
it's,
Well, and I
that's
did
great.
report out at the last meeting that we did have this meeting with Brandon. And I'm just, and I don't disagree with you that a comprehensive plan and going out to a bid on a comprehensive plan, I think it's a great idea, and I think we should be having those discussions. Absolutely.
That's what
I absolutely agree, we should be having those discussions.
Yeah.
Perhaps it might be best if we discuss what we want to do with the feasibility study for the
We have to
park.
go out and get a master plan
Right.
first.
Yeah, perhaps it might be best to,
I didn't see that in the feasibility study. I mean, that the talk about a master plan. So what I saw in the feasibility study were discussions about putting in a road,
Yeah.
parking, dismantling the current pool,
Right.
rebuilding. And I didn't see a weighing of alternatives. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things.
Right.
But the thing is that I didn't see a discussion about developing a comprehensive plan. I think that's an excellent idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the playground and whatever we're gonna do with the pool should be a part of it. And a lot of public participation should be part of that as well. And you saw what Chris Wilson had done to get input from various aspects of the community, and I think we could model what we want to do for the most important asset that we have.
And I think prioritizing our needs for the town as well, and I realize it is an asset, but we also, and none of us have discussed, although our past board have, we need to discuss planning for a new maintenance building for our maintenance department. They
Let's
are
do
in
it.
desperate need of it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a
Talking
great
about the highway
idea.
department?
Yeah.
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 Totally,
All
I'm
right,
in total
desperate need.
agreement.
So prioritizing our expense, and I realize the pool, we've discussed the park, and it is an asset. But if we're going to be spending $60,000 on a playground, I kind of want to see that earmarked toward a building.
That might be the answer.
Well,
I don't know.
and the way whatever you want to call whatever was submitted last month, actually proposes using a funding, funding system that's not using town money per
Right.
se.
501c.
Yes, I know,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
So that may make more sense to get something bigger done that will be bigger, have multiple playgrounds perhaps in different, just makes more sense than piecemeal.
I appreciate your initiative
Yeah.
and trying to get things done. I just think we have to think smart before we just move. And I know there was an opportunity, but I just don't think we're like really at the, at the decision-making.
But I do think we should talk about, what are we calling that thing you gave us last month?
Feasibility.
The feasibility thing.
Yeah.
Talk about that and what our next steps should be, which is getting some proposal for a consultant. But we should not let that slide, because that is a big feature. It can be a big feature and asset for the town to use. I was thinking as he was talking even about bike trails and stuff, you could probably build them off there around the edges and stuff. I don't know, I haven't looked at it, but somebody could, or walking trails and things like that could be built in. I know that what they're really talking about is walking trails that are accessible from everybody's house. I know that's what they're really after. I get it. But, some of that stuff would be there. But anyway, it needs to be looked at holistically.
Okay, if we're putting a kibosh on the playground, then do we want to remove that adult playground, or do we want to think about that? and
We
talk
have
about
to
that?
discuss that, Danielle.
Yeah.
How, we have a situation there.
Oh,
My
sure.
agenda.
And is that-
No, we have to do
Is that
this.
resolved, or, like,
I haven't heard anything
Sorry.
back.
okay,
How many
Since
times
the
has that
police.
arisen?
okay.
How many times has that?
Several last year and several this year.
And it's the same person?
That's correct. But we still have a lot of children playing on it that are playing on it and could possibly get hurt. It's not appropriate for kids.
I mean,
So
maybe.
for 10 weeks, we have soccer, for example, and the siblings or the kids afterwards go and they play on the adult playground. The parents just let them, and
Could we fence it in a
Is
way
it
that kids
used
can
by
get in?
anybody else besides children? And this
very rarely,
individual?
very rarely.
Okay.
It's not like inviting. It's not somewhere I would go to work out, let me say. It's the equipment isn't user friendly, I guess. It's more like you're using all your own weight, so like pull-up bars. It's not like a push-pull machine like you would have at a gym. It's more rigorous exercise. I think the average adult.
Sit-ups, push-ups, pull-ups.
Again, I really think that we gotta look at this as a whole. Before we just do these little Band-Aid things.
Mhm.
I agree.
I think that.
I
there's something
agree,
for
Susan, but I also agree that this situation we need to address.
Is-
And that, do you see what I mean? How do we address that?
I think,
Do you know?
one of the
We haven't-
things, it sounds like it's a parental oversight issue.
Yeah, well, just,
Could-
this-
I mean,
Not for this particular issue.
No,
What's that?
The adult.
The
This is
adult
an
is the
adult.
problem.
It's
You
the
had an
adult.
idea?
I'm just saying that I wouldn't let my kid play on that.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like the parent, right.
I mean, the
Yeah.
adult has to be, we just have to call
Yeah.
the police and give a no trespass.
Did you hear anything from the Troop K? No?
But I haven't heard anything about the individual coming back.
Okay.
Did you want to say something?
But usually, if
Not
something
yet,
happens
we're
like that,
talking.
they'll
Yeah.
wait and come back in a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, they'll take a pause.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the only way we can enforce that is just have the police give him a trespassing. He's
Well,
been asked
that
not
was
to
the
come.
question we had with the Troop K officer, that if we can specifically say to him, as an individual, no trespassing.
How can he be trespassing on a public park?
Yeah, right.
He's not trespassing on a public park.
Is
He's
it,
coming in after hours, correct?
He
But-
has-
After it's
But,
closed.
Yeah.
yes, after it's closed, it's one thing, but
Do
when
we have a-
other people are there that he was disturbing, that's not after hours, is it?
But he can be asked to not come back.
You can ask him not to come back because he's disturbing, but it's not trespassing.
When we talked to the troopers about it, they said you can offer a non-trespassing for an individual, you just have to catch him in the act. So now I have Troop K on speed dial.
That's what he said.
Yeah, but you can call him, but it's not trespassing. Whatever you want to call it, it's not trespassing. It's a public park.
It might be disorderly conduct.
Yes, it can be something else, but.
But he's got to be there. and
Yeah, they've
doing
got to
what
get
they
somebody
can.
to remove him, that's all.
I personally am nervous about having the adult equipment taken out without a broader discussion about the park and about how it was given and how it's named after somebody. So I
That in
think-
particular is a big
So then
thing.
we'll table that as well.
But I do
Fine.
think if there's a way to make it
Yeah.
temporarily safer, I would be in favor of that,
Mhm.
to figure that out.
Hmm.
Okay.
Can we defer to somebody who might, from the community, who might have an idea?
So, I think Gary knows, Mr. Town Supervisor knows, that I'm very passionate about the town park, and I've obviously been speaking to you. I've been speaking to a lot of members of the community since that feasibility study was done, and I've done actually a tremendous amount of research looking at surrounding municipalities, looking into grants, looking into many, many aspects of this, and I was not prepared, I'm not prepared to share anything in its totality, but when I had seen this last night included, I had thought wrongly that it was to go and replace the existing playground, and obviously I'm wrong. What I would say, and I have a lot of information, but one of the key takings, the most important by numbers that came out of that feasibility study is that people felt a reason, that the park lacked a reason for them to be there. And where they had a lot of warm feelings for the pool and other aspects of it, they literally didn't see a reason. And what really concerns me is discussion about a piece of athletic equipment that is meant for adults, even the idea that it would be taken away when it seems to me it is literally the only piece of equipment there specifically for adults. The costs of going to, I'm all for local businesses, but the cost of going to one of our local gyms is very, very high. The offerings locally for real exercise for an adult, which is what this park is specifically for. It is the town recreation department park. This is really it, and if it is in need, if it's been neglected like so many of the other aspects of the park, the volleyball court, go on and on and on, then it should be looked at as how can we create this as a better asset, not only to honor the donation that was given, but to serve the members of the community that might actually use it. We now have all over the village, at all the schools, the tribute gardens, we have playgrounds. We already have a playground at the town pool. But what about the young person that's come to town and wants someplace to go and exercise? I mean, this is, whereas Deidre, it might not be appealing to you to do push-ups and pull-ups in
agreed.
this body. This is something that, that type of exercise is highly desirable.
No, you don't, I think you misunderstood. What I was saying was that we should make it better. We shouldn't we should find a way to make it
You
more,
know how to turn the air conditioning
Right.
down?
Yeah.
And that's something that I feel really strongly about, and I feel like this part really serves the needs of the community members in a way that there's none of the other parks, and I've done, this is part of all this work I've been doing, is looking at this, they just, Tribute Gardens is wonderful, it's a very different park. Bennett Park is wonderful, it's a very different park. This is the one place that serves the athletic needs, and I would actually encourage a look at the gym at the Village Hall as well.
Okay,
So I
so-
guess, Lisa,
all right.
what we were discussing earlier and tearing it down, it's an idea that is presented because it's not used at all. It's
What's
there.
not used at all?
The adult.
The adult, nobody uses it.
Well, so this goes to,
Used
So
it,
here's-
or do you use it?
Used it like 3 times,
Okay.
4 times.
I have actually
All right, well,
tried.
that's more than what we
There's,
realized, so thank you.
I've been
Yeah.
on gone on a couple cruises, and they have their gyms, but then outside around their track, they have some other kind of like basic like exercise equipment that uses more. You don't have to use your full body weight, like you said. I don't do chin-ups. I can do half of one, you know. But they have other types of equipment where you can kind of use like more of a percentage
like a push
of
pull.
your weight
Yeah,
and stuff like
stations.
that. So it's more. I think that's maybe the reason why it doesn't get used so much is because it's very challenging.
So-
You're like Iron Man.
That's what I was
Well,
saying.
yes, I
Well, let
mean,
me, can I ask
Okay.
a
the
question?
town supervisor knows, I've had this discussion for years, and I think this is the biggest
That's more than
asset
what
that the
you
town
need.
has. But one of the issues is the outreach, with all respect, has gotten better. But the outreach, the amount of people, the amount of times that I would answer people on both the Millbrook, New York, Instagram and Facebook accounts, on mostly Millbrook, on Millbrook Moms, Millbrook, New York community, about the assets that are at the town park that nobody is aware of. They do not know there's a track. They do not know that there is all the athletic facilities. The amount of times I answered about pickleball. I don't even play pickleball. But, you know, these are all things. People don't even know that when you pull into the town park, if you go to the little kiosk, the little lifeguard hut, that you can actually go in there and borrow equipment to use it on the existing facilities that are there. I mean, there are so many aspects of this park that are just not known. I know I've offered many times to design signage for the park so that, you know, to raise awareness. But I think this is why I've sort of been doing this deep dive, is that whether or not it's being used enough, I would say the whole park is not being used enough right now, because for varying reasons, either the equipment, you know, that equipment is nothing compared to what the volleyball court looks like, or the basketball court that's got cracks in it, or, you know, I mean, so I think if this is looked at in an overall way, then we could end up with something, and I mean, gosh, I've looked into bringing in all kinds of, things like karate and classes like this that other municipalities do to offset the cost of running. They bring in these programs. I've looked at, I mean, it's a lot of things that could be done that I think could make it better for everybody
All right.
involved.
Okay.
Groundskeeper report, anyone? Well, Matt has been working on the seasonal startups and maintenance on buildings, replacing fixtures as needed. The chlorination system has started. He's met with the health department and gone over the park waters. He's testing the water daily and meter readings daily also. He has installed a new diving dock on the 9-foot dock, yearly curb painting. In the Trivides building, the old garage door was removed, framing, a new door was installed, the walls are insulated and staining on the inside. The small pavilion is gonna be absolutely done by tomorrow, so we have now cedar shakes on the side. The whole building, the whole pavilion is basically painted brown, and it has green highlights on it, so please come and check it out. And that's what he did in the last month. Does anybody have any questions?
No,
Yeah,
you did a beautiful job.
yeah.
Yeah. As you always do.
Anybody questions, Elizabeth?
Thanks, Danielle. Very good.
Thank you.
All right, Tony's not here. Deidre,
I
you
don't,
got the floor.
yeah, I know, thank you for it. I spoke to Danielle today about one of the recommendations in the feasibility study and just generally questions from constituents and town members about the park being open, unfettered from dawn to dusk kind of thing. And what would it take to accomplish that? And just want to report that Danielle is aware of it, she's working on it, and she's hoping that for next season, she will have it in place where we can do something where it's open dawn to dusk, and that people will be able to access the park without having to pay for things if they're not using the pool. So somehow make it that the pool is the entry fee and not the park. Because currently if you pull into the park and then you have to pay to use it for anything. So just discussions we're having on what that looks like, and so we'll follow up and talk about it. But it was a good conversation, and Danielle's aware of it, and she's gonna work on it.
Good.
And then the other thing I want to talk about is the last couple of years, more than the last couple of years, the pool's been closing earlier in August because of the lack of certified lifeguards. I personally would love to see a way that we can find a way to have it open through Labor Day. Again, it's an asset. One of the reasons it's not used is because it's closed mid-August. And we all know August is hot and Labor Day weekend, and so I would love to find a way, if we have to even give additional resources to it, to have it open, the pool open through Labor Day.
I mean, if we could have the lifeguards, that's the only thing holding us back.
Or can we,
Yeah.
is there a way we can hire per diem lifeguards? I don't know what it looks like, but it's something I'm willing to work on and look at if people are.
Too
Yeah.
bad Danielle left. I mean, that would have been nice for her to jump in on that,
Yeah.
because she's been our guidance
Yes.
as far as
I just think,
what
if we
we can
could,
and cannot do.
I would put additional resources personally towards it if we could keep it open.
Are most of them high school or college students?
College, and that's the
That's
problem, they
why.
leave.
It's
That's
gotta
why.
be.
Right.
That's what I assumed that.
But if there's a
Yeah.
way we can hire, I don't know, there's gotta be a way. I mean,
Absolutely.
Silo Ridge has their pool open all the time. How does that happen? They get the lifeguards,
pay
they
more
probably pay
money.
more money. Maybe we need to pay a little bit more money, I don't know, but I would be willing to look at it.
Are
if-
there any teachers who would do it?
I don't
Well,
know.
Danielle will know. You can
Right.
talk to Danielle.
I personally would be willing to put some resources towards it to keep it open the extra 2 or 3 weeks, even if we just open it, on the weekends or find a way.
Yeah, we used to keep it open.
It used to be open.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be open 2 weeks past Labor Day, like
That's
when my
right.
kids were little.
Yep,
So,
yeah.
and
Okay.
I also think it's one of the things that, people use it if it's open more.
Right. Okay.
That's all I have.
Good, thank you. All right, Joe.
Okay, so my report on Oak Summit, we are expected to have plans and specs for approval beginning next week. So we'll review that, Joe and Spagnola and myself, and then DOT will then need to also review. Our bid advertisement for bid was supposed to be July 1st, no later than July 1st of this year. And if you recall, we did ask for an extension from May to July. Because of the process with DOT in their review, we might have to ask for yet another extension. Dan from Colliers says that should not be a problem. Christie's working on a link to have the public get on that to access plans and specs.
Hopefully it'll be available by Monday.
Yep, and then, let's see, what else did Joe Hefferman say? The land acquisition, that is the other, we are still working on that. We can go ahead and do everything else, even though the land acquisition is not going to be resolved.
We voted on it, though.
Don't they
We
do?
voted on it, but it has to go through and paid to
The owners.
the owners and this and that. And
Okay.
it has to be.
It won't be completed.
It's not quite completed, even though our part is.
Are there any obstacles?
I'm not sure. I can read you what Joe sent back. He says, "I have reached out to Jim and will update on the progress of acquisitions when available." So that's what I have. And it hasn't been,
that's
you know,
not
so
much.
here again, you know, what we think is simple is not
But
always
they both
simple.
agreed.
Yeah.
Both property
Yeah.
owners agreed, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so,
Okay.
maybe it's the transfer from, you know, like the, I don't know, I mean, maybe it could be like the subdivision.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Okay.
So anyways, that's going on. Now for the zoning board of appeals, they did not meet in May. Okay, so I have no report.
Okay.
And brace yourselves, everyone. My report in July will be the same because they are not meeting in June. Okay?
Good.
And that is my
Sounds good.
report.
All right.
Big substantive reports.
Okay, Susan.
Okay, so, I don't know, Lyle, did you have something about the codification? That we, you know, what needs to be done to,
Yeah, we should probably discuss it in attorney-client.
okay, all right.
Okay.
We'll do that. I'm gonna be attending a grants workshop on June 25th. It's put out by the Association of Towns, so
Awesome.
learn more, maybe I can get.
Where is that?
some. It's gonna be in Ulster, in the town of Ulster.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
So, yeah, we'll see what I learn.
Great.
So.
Thanks for doing that.
More money.
So, also too, the legislature, they adopted and expanded senior citizen and disability exemption. Like right now, the top limit is 50,000. Effective, I think it's July 1, 27, it'll be 75,000, but we have to adopt a local law to amend what our current law is. And so, I don't know, I just wanted to start throwing it out there. We have time to get this going, but how do people?
And what is it for?
You know, you can get, if you have a certain income level, and we have a sliding scale in the town, you can, which is now maximum 50,000.
That's the income level.
That's
Right.
correct. And I think actually ours is a little lower, but you can get a senior citizens exemption, which can be, you know, significant.
What does the exemption do exactly?
Lowers your property tax rate.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I want to make.
On
Okay,
your
that's
town
what it
Right,
portion of
sorry.
your bill.
Okay.
So the county passed it, it reduces it on the county portion of your tax bill.
And
When
with-
the
but
town
we have to
adopted
adopt it as
would
well.
reduce it on your town portion of your tax bill.
Which we should mirror the county one.
Well, we have one for the town for currently, just that we have to.
Upgrade
We
it.
have the opportunity and
Upgrade.
it's discretionary, so
Okay.
I don't know, like maybe, I thought Lisa might be here tonight, we could have discussed at some point, you know, find out, like, I don't know.
There's
what she
also, because we
thinks
also
about-
have one on the veterans has one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think they adopted a law changing that.
Oh, because the veterans one, the county did back in like, I want to say 2021 maybe.
Hmm.
50,000 doesn't sound
We
like
have
much.
We have it for the town for veterans, and we also have it for, I believe, is it rescue personnel?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Hmm.
For them.
Fire
That's like
and rescue.
First
Yeah,
responders,
and
in
they're
other
different,
words.
yeah, it's different laws. This is specifically for senior citizens and the disability exemption, so.
Boy, 50,000 doesn't sound
No,
like
I
much.
would be in favor of
It'll be
increasing it.
increasing
too.
to 75.
Sure.
Yeah.
Even that.
All right, so, I'll talk to Lisa about it, and
Yeah.
then maybe we can talk to legal about putting together a local law, and,
Or just amending the one we have.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be the, we still have to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
but-
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so for the planning board, there was a bunch of stuff on, and I'll just try and buzz through this really quickly. There was Mimas Farm, which was a special use permit. There was a hearing where the owner had a guest house, which they needed a special permit for. The planning board granted that. There was a discussion on where Millbrook Beef and Dairy is, that they want to do a sort of glamping. I mean, the proposal that was presented was for an A-frame that would be effectively a short-term rental, and also this glamping use, which would be, I guess, fancy tents.
Tent.
I don't, you know.
That's at the end of the
Yeah.
Shempike.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so it's a little unclear in our law, and I don't know that, you know, because it was a matter of first impression, everybody's looking at it for the first time. But we do have a definition of glamping in our law that came through in the hospitality law. But there's no place where it's permitted, specifically permitted. It's specifically prohibited in the hospitality overlay, and I think there's other areas that it specifically states that it's prohibited, but there's nothing that says where you can do it. So they're going to come back with more details, is what I understand.
This is
So-
the 44 end of Shumpike?
Right.
Next to Kildare.
And then there was a site plan application for Metcalf at 1215 Shunpike. They're supposed to be coming back for hearing. They're rebuilding their porch, or enclosed porch, and they have to get a variance. I guess they get an area
They
variance,
had it from the
right?
zoning board, now they need a site plan approval.
They need the
From the
site plan, approval, so that's what's
Yep.
gonna happen next week. There was also 20 Wellwind Road where James Mager came in for a discussion about getting a bed and breakfast, which requires a special permit. The one obstacle that he has is that he doesn't really live on the premises, which is a condition.
That's his parents live there, it's actually the Mar.
Okay,
Yes,
so
yeah.
he didn't really do that.
So he's not,
He doesn't, they don't own it anymore. I think he and his brother own it. So I
Okay.
don't know how that goes into the
yeah,
mix,
the
but.
parents passed away.
Right. And so, and then Silverbrook Farm, which is on, where 44 meets.
Yeah.
and
Sharon Turnpike.
Right, and splits. So they want, I gotta say honestly, they're not totally sure that I totally understand what they were requesting. Apparently what happened was that somebody complained about them making money, making revenue, charging $25 or something for like a walkthrough and some of what they plant and everything. So
There's nothing there.
So I don't know, but so anyway, so they were responding to that complaint. Jonathan had suggested that they come to the planning board, and the planning board said, we can't really interpret the law. You may have to go to the zoning board since they do interpretations of the code, and I guess get a better fix on exactly what they're talking about that their project is. So that's a little.
Well, he alluded to the fact that he was planning something, if you recall, because we
Oh, the
interviewed
interview.
him for the
The
planning
CSA he was
board.
talking about,
William,
yeah.
So he alluded.
And they
that
mentioned that.
He had plans coming up, so.
Right, and he was thinking of doing kind of a different kind of CSA, where the people that do the CSA are actually, they till the land, and I don't know if you get a little plot or something like that, but sort of a more hands-on experience, I guess, to CSA. And, this, and also they were talking about events where they would be serving food that was grown on the farm. So that kind of blurs the line between like farm use and restaurant. And somebody brought up Stonewood, which,
Yes.
so there might be more of this coming down the line, and we might want to figure out, like, is it a restaurant? Is it a farm? I mean,
Right.
I don't know.
You get ag and markets laws too, which.
I'm not that has to be looked at. You're right.
Right.
That's
There's,
gonna be
there's,
looked
they,
into.
a lot of that is ag and markets, because if you grow a certain percentage on your property, you have some exemptions.
Right.
That's why you're getting all
I
these
think
breweries and cideries.
you get sales, I'm certain about, and I know that the town, they passed, although I don't think it's in our code, and that's something we should think about, the right to farm law. I don't think it was added as a code section, if I'm correct. I'll have to
Because you
look
guys
at
passed the right to farm law.
last year, yes.
Yes.
So that might be something we gotta add, so.
When it goes into effect now.
It's
that law.
probably,
That's
I'm
correct.
sure it's in
Yeah.
effect now, yes.
I sent it over, I'll have to follow up on that.
Okay.
To see why it's not.
Because it probably just wasn't presented that way. You know, the code section,
Right.
it was just adopted as local law. It's still effective, but
Mhm.
it's not integrated into the code. So,
Right.
Anyway, so I
Yeah.
think that's
You mean
kind
it's- you mean it's not on the E-codes?
of, right, there was never when it was, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And I think that, let's see, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, thank you, Susan.
I'm going to have the fastest
You were
report
right.
ever.
That's all right.
I have nothing.
Good.
Great.
Neither, the only thing I know is I asked the Ethics Committee if they're going to meet on June 16th, which is on the calendar. I haven't had an answer. So, but that's it. They haven't met, and there's been nothing from the court.
Awesome.
How's
Thank
she
you.
doing with the desk, by the way?
She's doing great.
Good.
She's happy. She actually
Does anyone have any questions, comments before we go to executive session?
Look.
Just had a quick comment. I'm Jennifer Dundas. I live on the corner of Maple and Elm, for anyone who doesn't know me.
Yeah, you live in the lovely stone house, the Rotano house.
Just played golf with your husband last night.
Yes, yeah.
I walk a lot on Valley Farm and on Stanford Road for
Mhm.
my exercise, and recently people have dumped things there, like contractor garbage and tires and bins of stuff. And I just wanted to thank you because I went to Kathleen, I didn't know what to do, and I told her what was happening, and she immediately got it cleaned up.
Mhm.
It's all gone, it's beautiful again. Every time I walk on these roads, I feel like the most fortunate person, and I live in this part of the world. And it was really bringing me down, and she just solved it, so I wasn't
Yeah.
sure who to thank. I thought I should thank
That's
all of
wonderful that you brought it to
Great.
our attention.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Really, really appreciate
Yeah.
it, and I think there's a new no littering sign up on
Mhm.
Valley Farm as well
Yes.
as part of
Yeah.
it, so.
Crazy that you need a sign to tell people they can't.
Yeah,
say
and they still do it.
And big
Yeah.
piles too, not just a Coke can.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you all, really
Okay.
appreciate
Great.
that.
Thanks for the comment.
Hey, I'm Mark, representing the Millbrook Library as the treasurer. We recently passed a resolution to proceed with another 414 request to increase our tax portion for the library. We've already submitted the petitions to Christine, and I believe she's reviewing them.
No, I think
I-
you'll be getting them
Yeah.
shortly from
Okay.
Don't scare me, I haven't gotten them yet.
Oh, okay, I know they've been in communication with you,
I've been
so
in
I figured it
communication,
was
yeah.
gonna, come to the board, so I just wanna, closer, we'll eventually have a ballot measure in November, so we're gonna have, information sessions, flyers, that kind of material, provided by the Friends of the Library. And, yeah, so I just wanna let you know that we did our resolution, so that this doesn't impact your budget. The only thing we ask is, I don't know, when do you usually approve your budget for?
November.
November.
November, but it's after elections?
Most definitely.
Okay, good, because, yeah, we just want to make sure, if it's approved, then it's part of your, your budget that gets
Yeah.
approved, otherwise we don't
Yeah.
get to see any of those funds.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
So Renee, it's a petition, so you guys are filing a petition because it's got to be done at the election, so the voters have to vote it, it's a
Correct.
referendum.
Back of the ballot.
Yeah,
Got it.
we'll be
Okay.
giving the petitions for Christine to review, then
Gotcha.
we'll be taking them to
Okay.
the Board of Elections, and then we'll be on the ballot.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank
How
you.
much?
It'll be, we're requesting 50,000.
Additional 50?
And we'll probably be gonna be doing this on an annual basis.
Hmm.
We don't wanna do a big ask. We did it 2 years ago, it was a bigger ask just because
Mhm.
we had to catch up a
Right.
lot. A lot of things have changed in the library world. Prior to that, we've only requested 3 times for 414, originally in '94, sometime in 2008-ish, and then 2015, and then as recently as 2024. That's allowed us to catch up. It's inflation and everything in this world. So we need something where we can rely on it. Currently, our 414 funds about 41% of our operations. Most libraries of our size are closer to 78%. We do have a large endowment that we draw off of, so I don't know necessarily if we're ever gonna aim for 78%. But with our cash flow is getting very, very close.
Mhm.
And unless we get magical donations in November and December, our budget planning and everything like that is becoming more and more challenging every year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? If not, we have to go into executive session, so we have to excuse everybody tonight. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And a motion to go into executive session as attorney-client privilege.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make sure everything's off.